The angels are amongst us because of spite. They come to us not to herald a world of never-ending happiness, but just echo the things that pain us here on earth. Politics, dirty business, displacement, but for the true believers, the few amongst us who believe in angels, there is joy beyond this mortal life, but only if you have faith. During the entire first half of the 1900s, Major League Baseball, and specifically the American and National Leagues, were 16 teams, 8 per league, spread across 11 cities in the Northeast. By the time the 1950s rolled around, many teams found themselves in similar positions. With most of the cities that had 2 teams, one was always the clear favorite, and the second was cast aside. These teams all realized that for them to survive, they would need to leave their shared markets and find their own city. Not to say these teams didn't try and make it work. St. Louis Browns owner Bill Veeck tried everything he could to try and outspend and outclass the more popular St. Louis Cardinals, but eventually the Cardinals were sold to Gussie Busch, owner of the St. Louis legend Budweiser, and Veeck knew he would never be able to overtake the market. So first, they set their eyes on Los Angeles. But in a world before reliable airfare, the proposal would involve a schedule where every American League team comes to Los Angeles one after another in the first half of the year, followed by a half-year road trip for the Browns to play the rest of the league on the road. The proposal was rejected outright. Following that, the Browns explored moving to Milwaukee, but the Boston Braves had the rights to the territory through their minor league team. They thought they had a deal to make the move when the American League owners said Bill Veeck didn't have enough time to manage moving the team and rejected the move. The following season, in spring training, the Boston Braves switched their jerseys from Boston to Milwaukee, and that was it. The Milwaukee Braves were born. Veeck, realizing that the league was against him, sold the St. Louis Browns, who moved the team to Baltimore to become the Orioles the very next year. The year after that, the Philadelphia Athletics moved to Kansas City. Now, the only cities with multiple teams are cities big enough to support more, Chicago with 2 and New York with 3. But this is when the trouble began. The Brooklyn Dodgers were trying to replace aging Ebbets Field with the Brooklyn Dome at the current location of the Barclays Center. Legendary urban planner Robert Moses suggested the Brooklyn Dodgers instead move to Queens, which infuriated Walter O'Malley, the owner of the Dodgers. They wanted to move to Los Angeles, but baseball wouldn't let one team go to the West Coast alone. Brooklyn reached out to the New York Giants, who were also tired of Robert Moses, and the 2 longtime rivals headed out to Los Angeles and San Francisco. Losing 2 teams and leaving New York with only the Yankees destroyed the city of New York. And that's when the movement of franchises started to become a problem politically for baseball. A congressman from Brooklyn teamed up with a staunch antitrust senator to examine if baseball was allowed to run as an effective monopoly anymore. At the same time, New York attorney William Shea announced the foundation of the Continental League, which would compete to be a 3rd major league. The owners of the Continental League really wanted to be consumed by Major League Baseball and to become de facto expansion franchises, but their only leverage to get that was to start playing baseball and force their hand, which might embitter MLB. Commissioner Ford Frick was able to pull an expert move by agreeing to expansion to Continental League cities, with 4 soon and 4 in a couple of years. With that news, the Continental League folded and in turn lost all leverage to hold MLB to their promise. The first 4 teams were set to play in 1962 with the announced New York Mets in their Dodger blue and giant orange colors, quelling political pressure from New York. The National League selected the Houston Colt 45s, later the Astros, as a second Continental League city. But then the Washington Senators did something to ruin everything. The Washington Senators baseball team was losing money and wanted out. Minneapolis was a Continental League city that was interested in an expansion franchise, but when it folded, an agreement was made to move to Minnesota and become the Twins. Being without a franchise in Washington would raise political pressure, so the 2 American League franchises would start in 1961. A brand new Washington Senators franchise to replace the old one, and despite Walter O'Malley for starting this whole mess, the Yankees owners organized for the second expansion team to be the Los Angeles Angels. Hello, and welcome to Out of Left Field, a special Cory Baker filmmaker presentation where we go around the major leagues and go to every single ballpark. And hold on one second. I love this. So, a couple years ago, my wife Rachel got me this scratch-off ballpark chart. And as you can see, all the ballparks that I've gone to, we get like the little green showing up, the field, everything. Before you visit it, it's just the silver. Obviously, a lot of NL Central to fill in. My goal is that by the end of the series, which will be done sparingly, so if you're here for the movies, I'll get back to it, I swear. But, yeah, I want to fill this out with you guys. So I figured I would start with the ballpark that I have gone to the second most of any in the major leagues, and that's Angel Stadium. Angel Stadium is the fourth oldest stadium in the majors, and I don't know, it gets a bum rap, but I'm curious to see where it lands as we go through this series and where it lists in the ranks, basically. Because even though it's an older ballpark, it is really nice and fun and feels like almost like a mid-market team's ballpark. So come with me as we go down the 5 to Anaheim and check out Angel Stadium of Anaheim.
So part of these videos is going to be how long it takes me to get from the middle of the city to where the ballpark is. And because the Angels are still categorizing themselves as the Los Angeles Angels, I have to take them at their word and start this journey from the middle of Los Angeles, which is great because I live in downtown. So that's not too far of a journey for me to get there. But it is a far journey to get to Angel Stadium because that is in Anaheim, which can be anywhere between a half hour to 2.5 hours away from downtown Los Angeles, depending on the time of the game, the traffic, everything like that. So, yep. First part of our journey to Angel Stadium is a 1-hour car ride from the center of Los Angeles.
Finally made it down to Anaheim, got the big A behind me. Let's go do this. So here we are at the home plate gate, and step one of the things you should see if you come to this ballpark is the large 649.5 size hats that you can find right in the home plate pavilion. Yeah, I thought I had trouble finding 7 5/8, but that is a big hat. Also, there is a home plate, whole ball field made with bricks. Some of these people have sponsored these bricks. And yeah, it's of all the places that you could enter into the ballpark, this is the place because there are the most people taking tickets. There's the most, you think like, oh, I'm in the outfield, I should just go out to the outfield and get in there. But no, you want to come in through the home plate gate. Trust me. Plus, you get to see all this. The story of the Angels is an average American League team. If you look at the all-time record of every active franchise in Major League Baseball, you will find the Angels 15 out of 30. In the franchise's history, they are slightly below 500, which tracks for the most part. The original owner was actor Gene Autry, who founded the team as the Los Angeles Angels and kept that name for the entirety of the time they were actually in Los Angeles, 61 through 64. When they made the move down to the Big A, they changed the name of the team to the California Angels for the remainder of Autry's ownership until 1996. At that time, the Disney company bought the team and renamed them the Anaheim Angels, and in the process renovated the stadium to its current setup. In 2002, the Angels won their first and only World Series over the San Francisco Giants, notable because it was the first time a wild card team, named for a team that qualifies for the playoffs without winning their division, won the World Series. The next year, Disney sold the team to current owner Artie Moreno, who renamed them shortly thereafter to the widely mocked Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, for a decade before the final change, back to the Los Angeles Angels. Throughout their history, they are known to be a team that attracts a lot of notable players, but many times the players had the greatest successes on other teams. The only Angel in the Hall of Fame with an Angels hat is Vladimir Guerrero, who will be surely joined one day by current outfielder Mike Trout. For 6 years, the Angels had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on the same team, considered by many two of the best players of this generation, and were unable to make the postseason once. During that time, Shohei won 2 MVPs and Trout won 1, and they didn't place higher than 3rd out of 5 teams in their division. Right now, in 2026, they are in the middle of one of the worst seasons in franchise history and are looking towards a long and painful rebuild.
Get hot dogs and pretend that I'm not wearing a hot dog costume. Can I get 2 more of me?
All right. I don't think John can blink once.
I'm taking a little break from the action. It was 5-0 the last time that I checked the score, which was just a few minutes ago, and Angels are losing, so no surprise there. But I figured I would show you kind of the outside area here. Beautiful with palm trees in Southern California. They have created kind of like what feels sort of like more of like an outdoor dining area right behind home plate, which is a great place to get some food. Part of what I will do here on these videos is I will get a hot dog from every stadium, because that's consistent, and I will also try and find the dish that each team is known for and try that as well and let you know what I think. But let's get some meat. As promised, every stadium gets a hot dog. The Angel hot dog is a Hoffy dog. And here, let's... I didn't want to lose the paper, so I lost my phone instead. I mean, I think like many things at Angel Stadium, the Hoffy dog is fine. Like, it's an average dog. It's nothing exceptional. It's nothing that will make you say, oh man, I can't wait to go back to Angel Stadium and get that dog again. It's just a perfectly normal, everyday dog. Poor Mike's got to eat 9 of these tonight. One is good for me. For the signature item, I think you could go one of 2 ways. So, first of all, the helmet nachos are probably the most like fan-centric type of food that you would probably check out at the Angels game. But it's Southern California. I have to do a taco. This is from Chronic. Chronic tacos are like an Orange County brand. So I figured this is the closest we can get to like a little local flavor with the taco. So here we go. It's really good. I never had Chronic tacos before. but they are just very good. And you know what? Honestly, I'm not much of a chicken taco guy. Usually I would do something like a carne asada or something like that, but again, it was really hitting the spot. Good for dinner. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you're from some place that doesn't have tacos that are like Southern California. But if you're in the area and you're looking for the best tacos, I wouldn't say this is it. One of my favorite things about this stadium, and it's so wonderfully weird, is that it has lived 3 different lives. It was a baseball stadium, then it was a multi-purpose stadium, and then it was a baseball stadium again. Right here I am in left field, so where the foul pole ends, there's like a couple seats, and then it comes straight up. And then everything that's beyond the right field pavilion there is all stuff that was built for when they turned it into a multi-purpose stadium. You can see on the ground too, there's like those people were walking. They literally, this is a parking lot before. It was a parking lot that was for the players, and the big A was back here, and then they turned it all into an extension of the upper deck and the middle decks to be able to create a football stadium for the Rams as well. And now that it's an all baseball stadium again, this is just part of the center field experience.
It's going to be so horrible for you if you lose, though.
Okay.
So horrible.
I hope it's a big punishment. I'll rip the Band-Aid off. It feels right away.
The emperor will be squealing. Listen, I did pretty good.
Shame.
Pretty good.
So, finally done with the Angels game here. I will intersect other footage from years of going to Angels games when I get home and give you the wrap up. But great night at the ballpark. Angels lose, which I don't particularly care about, but you know, that's how it is sometimes in the big city, or at least the medium-sized city 30 miles south of the big city. We're back in the actual city of Los Angeles, and we're going to break down Angel Stadium of Anaheim. First off, as far as like sort of the rankable categories, location, 6 out of 10. It's right on the highways. Like, it's super easy to get to if you're driving from somewhere. If you are in Anaheim, like if you're going to Disneyland and you want to go catch an Angel game one night, Uber is probably your best bet. If you drove there, you can drive to the stadium. It's all relatively close. But if the Angels are trying to get the Los Angeles crowd, again, coming from downtown, it was more than an hour to get to the stadium. For somebody who lives an hour away from me, like if you're in Van Nuys or Sherman Oaks or something, like you're going to be spending 2 hours trying to get to that ball game, and I don't know that many people who are going to do that. But Orange County has a large fan base, and a lot of people pack that stadium even when the Angels aren't doing too well. The food. So the hot dog, I said, it was like kind of like just like your baseline for like an average hot dog. Like it just feels like a normal stadium hot dog. The chronic tacos were nice, but again, not anywhere compared to tacos that you would get on the outside world. And the Angels do a good job of like every year doing like their specialty
food items. Like they had this thing a couple years ago with like fried pickles in it, and I'll show it right here. A real behemoth.
We got ourselves a legend dog here. It's a bacon wrapped hot dog with fried pickles, slaw, and brisket on there too, or pork loin.
Everything's kind of just what you would expect from a stadium. So it's like an average 7-10. It's like a C. Like it just did it. The staff, incredible. I love the people who work at Angel Stadium. I would give them a 9 out of 10. They almost feel like, given that Disney had owned the team in part and then in full for so long, it feels like a lot of the training that went into the cast members at Disney went into the staff at Angel Stadium, because they look for opportunities to try and make your life a little bit better. Me and my daughter went to the game, and we sat in our seats, and almost immediately she spilled her drink, and I was like, dang, like it's not like it was all the money, it was like a $6 or $7 drink, so like it's expensive, but it's not as expensive as it could be, but whatever. And one of the ushers saw it, and he came over and he's like, "I'm so sorry I knocked over your drink. Can I get you a new one?" And then, was using as like, "Oh, that was my mistake. I did that." And then he went and got a replacement drink, which he didn't have to do. But those are like the little things that happens with the Angel Stadium. The people who do parking are excellent. Like they're always like super happy and friendly to meet you and stuff like that. It's just really great vibe. And like the old Gene Autry hat look is just I love it. I hope they never change that. Value, I give it a 9 out of 10. So Los Angeles is like super expensive. Like that's kind of like, everyone knows this, even if you live in Bismarck, about Los Angeles being expensive. But the Angel games are reasonable. Like it's I almost exclusively buy my tickets on the secondhand market because somebody is trying to get rid of them. So I'll take the lesser the lesser face value to go to the games, but the tickets just aren't that expensive, even for like if you're buying them from the Angels. And compared to Dodger Stadium, it is just it's not even comparable. It really is like the Angels are a mid-market team, and are like trying to bring other people in Milwaukee out to the game. Like it just sort of feels like they're not Southern California in a weird way. As far as fun goes, like the overall fun experience of the game, I give it a 7 out of 10 because it's kind of feels like it hasn't jumped on a bunch of the trends that other clubs are doing. Like I know a lot of clubs have like sort of like an MC who like chaperones you through the night, like like in between innings and stuff like that. It's like, oh, make sure you go down to the team store, this hat's on sale, make sure like they just do that for the PA announcer. Like I was used to as I was growing up going to ball games. I don't really much care for the people who are like the host on the big screen, like like you show up every half inning. The stuff they have is very normal. Like, they have like a 3-card Monty. They have a race. They have a Pac-Man race. They have kids steal third base at some point. And, it's just a good general fun. But it's not like exceptional. Like, it's not like other stadiums that have really gone all out on the video board stuff. And it's really good, but it's not like over the top. If you're asking for the best place to sit, in my opinion, I've sat all over the stadium, like in every corner of it. So I would say the 200 level in the corners. So you're at the field terrace level. You're basically still on the field. Like it feels like a 100 level seat in almost any other stadium. And it is just nice because you have a great view of the game. You're really close to everything. Like if you want to get something that's like outside, behind home plate areas, like the food items they're all really close. You have the field terrace level where you can see through to the field if you're like just getting a hot dog or something like that at the Chronic Tacos. I would say that area, like a lot of people like to be behind home plate. I don't care about that as much. The value is usually better if you're sitting like sort of near the corners as opposed to behind home plate. But the great thing about Angel games is like you literally never know. Like I went and sat behind home plate and it was like 10 rows back, if that, like, and I paid like $25 or $30. Like it was, compared to what that ticket should have cost, it was a steal. So I mean, like, obviously look out for the rare golden opportunity, but like if you're asking like best value for money while best seat, I would say the corners at the 200 level. The signature ballpark attraction, like the thing that like everyone talks about from this ballpark, is the California Spectacular, the rock pile in center field with the river running through it. And it's just a cool looking landmark for the stadium. And you know, like the fountain aspect is an ode to the Midwest Spectacular for the Kansas City Royals. But I think that this is just Disney did this, and you can tell. Like, it just looks really good. The signature event, if it happens while you're there, I still love a rally monkey sighting. Like, really, I still just get a real kick out of it. Mostly because, you know, like, this is like the only World Series that they've won. So this is like, they hold on to this thing tight. And when it comes up, you think you're just watching a movie clip, and then all of a sudden the monkey's in there, and then the music starts, and then everyone just, you know, gets loud. And I don't know, like, it doesn't happen all the time, because obviously the Angels have to be, like, you know, in reach late in the game, so that's not always in the cards, but yeah, the rally monkey makes me happy. And overall, if I had to give Angel Stadium a rating, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. So for right now, by default, number one spot on the list. I hope that the good people of Anaheim enjoy that while it lasts, because I do imagine that it's going to get overtaken by quite a many ballpark. But, you know, people hate on this stadium. I think people are quick to just put it in, not like the bottom couple. Like, obviously, like, the A's are playing in a minor league ballpark and Tropicana Field exists. But, I mean, like, somewhere in that bottom 7 is where Angel Stadium seems to fall on a lot of people's lists. And I just don't know if it will be for me. Just because I love the homey feel. I love that it feels like a small market team, but you're also like literally down the street from Disneyland. So, I mean, it's a interesting mixture of feelings. But it brings you back to a better time in baseball. Like when growing up, I obviously I think everyone thinks of like when they were a teenager as the best time of anything, and this feels kind of like baseball when I was a teenager, because everything is kind of just general and fun and cheap, and you get a lot of bang for your buck, and also the team isn't very good. So that is similar to my experience watching the Orioles as a teenager. So anywho, that is it for the inaugural Out of Left Field. If you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments below, and come back here next week when I will get back to movies instead of ballparks. Thank you so much.